Hey, good morning, and welcome to the Mind Power Paradigm with Elly and
Natalie and you.
Natalie. I was so excited today. I was almost bursting to talk to you. I wanted to share something. This morning I was lying in bed and I was doing the thing that we tell everybody don't do, like hello, scroll.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was doing it anyway. And I came across this book and I want to share it with you right now because it just so much valuable information on this one. And
Right.
the book is called Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And it's by Patrick Bet David or Patrick Bet David if you're not pronouncing it the way that he would do it.
Okay.
Anyway, the book is all about people who motivate us, but maybe not for the most noble reasons. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I do want to share a little bit of the story about why I got so excited
Yeah.
in my business, which we know is one on one, and there are all these quote unquote limitations and beliefs that people have. Oh, you have a one on one business, you can't be making all this money, et cetera, et cetera. There's a cap, you got to do this, blah, 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 follow the cookie cutter stuff.
Hmm.
One month, I randomly, if you believe in random stuff, but somehow, some way, I connected to Patrick Bet David on YouTube. And I really loved what he said. So I followed him. And I followed him that month and I did everything that he said to do. And I made more money that month than I have ever imagined possible, even for this industry. And then, of course, and I was very grateful. And then, of course, as being human, I went on to the next month and I totally forgot what I had done. Okay. And then this morning, as I was looking at the book and I recognized the name, I was like, oh my God, this is the dude. This is
Wow.
the one that I followed who's so inspiring.
Right.
And what he talks about right now in this book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, he's not really talking about enemies, the kind that, we're going to go after and beat up and kill or any of that stuff. He's talking about the people who have helped provide, as you call it, the pain point. Those people that say, oh, you're never going to be able to do this. You might as well give up. You're never going to be able to do this. And in his book, he talks about using that to motivate us forward. So I struggled with that a little bit because I started looking at, well, in spirituality, we don't want to use that energy. It's not a good energy. And then I started thinking about it. Well, is there really good energy? Then, that's a whole other conversation,
Right.
right? I started thinking, hey, you know what though? It worked. It really worked. Look, I'll show you what I can do. You don't think that I can do this? I'm going to show you what I can do. And tell me, have you ever felt that? Have you ever had that experience?
First of all, I want to get this book. So you'll have to text that to me. But
I will.
yeah, I mean, there's been many times in my life where I have started things to prove a point to the enemy, right? That I can accomplish all things if I put my mind to something. Now, I'm a very disciplined type A type of person. So, tempt me or give me, any type of assignment and I will do it to 100% plus, 100%. So yeah, I mean, more times than not, I feel that the enemy or the pain points or that driving energy to become uber successful, at least, where I am today, has been little remarks from family members, right? So I have been in behavioral consulting for 15 years. That's what a master's degree in. And I took the dive into the health and wellness world. So you can only imagine the peanuts and the crabs in that bucket when I had made that shift, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
here we are today, and I've grown a multi six figure business. And
Mhm.
the crabs are still in the bucket. They're always going to find something, but it drives me to wake up each day and say, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that can relate definitely in so many different areas. I mean, I know that people set out on their health journey because maybe somebody had called them fat or obese or,
Mhm.
you're too slow or you're too this, right? And then they get up and it drives them. So is it a positive thing or is it a negative thing to have the enemy or those pain points driving us in our decision making? I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I think And that's what I was grappling with. I think
Yeah.
that it can be a really great motivator, and then at some point it will switch and we won't care, because if you remember the crab pot analogy, remember all the crabs are in the hot water together and one of them is attempting to get out and all the other crabs look to pull them back, because people don't want other people to succeed.
Right.
They do and they don't. If another person succeed, it reflects back to them their insecurities about their not being able to do it. So the
Hmm.
crab pot likes conformity. The crab pot likes mediocrity. The crab pot wants everyone to stay the same.
Hmm.
So I believe though once we leave the crab pot and the crabs can all stay there with themselves, and that's okay. And then we move on to the next when we've accomplished what it is that we set out to accomplish. So then we can go on to the next thing, and there will probably be new crabs or anything. But I just have a tendency to ignore those old crabs. That's all like, okay, I'm
I
out of
love
that pot.
get out of the pot. But that's, I've listened to so many different podcasts and top, successful leaders. And one thing that always stands out to me is that, success is actually a very lonely place. And
Mhm.
it's something to get used to, and know that, as you start to become more and more successful, there's going to be less and less people by your side, because those people that were by your side in the beginning, they decided to stay in the crab bucket, right? So I think there's two roads in life, right? There's the road well traveled, and then there's the road not really traveled often. And the road well traveled is the 9 to 5. It's the getting the kids to school. It's coming home. It's your regular ordained type of routine. And then there's these people who decide to take this path as entrepreneurs, or investors and things like that, not knowing where that road. There's so much nothing that's secure on that road. It's you're diving into a black space, but you're trusting in your own ability that you will get to where you need to go. So there's definitely something to be said about those two roads. And typically these roads and are the crabs in the buckets, right? That maybe they wanted to embark on this road, but there was something inside of them that, wasn't manifested deeply enough to put them on that road. And then they project their feelings onto you, right? So we can only, and I teach this to my clients, even in the health and wellness realm, is that we can't control how other people react and what they say and how they treat us. We can only control how we respond and how we receive information, right? So for most of
Mhm.
my life, that's truly what I've lived by. And then there's that saying of, when it's almost like the crabs, but you got all these people, you got one person rowing upstream, right? Think about anything. You got one person putting their health forward in their family, or you got one person really starting to build a community or a business, and they're rowing upstream. You got all these people rowing downstream. And then all of a sudden one person rowing downstream is like, I'm going to join the person rowing upstream. And then that upstream line gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So it's it's an analogy to say that sometimes you got to start things by yourself, but people eventually take hold and come forward and start to actually be maybe inspired by you, and they join you.
And for the most part they really do. It's been my experience that the most part they really do get inspired, especially if you think about the weight reduction journey. Okay, oh yeah, you're never going to do that, and then all of a sudden you see somebody like 2 months later, 3 months later, 4 months later, it's like, whoa, what happened? And then they become all inspired. Okay, and if they totally forget that they said to you, at least in my experience, oh, you're never going to be able to do that. Okay,
Mhm.
and see it all the time. And you know what? It does work as a motivator. It does. It really does. Of
Yeah.
course, then it's a driver. So I just love that he wrote an entire book. I haven't, like I said, I have not read it yet. Since it's a big book, I'm assuming that it's packed with a lot of other really, really great material, because he's an excellent coach and motivator. And
Yeah, I look forward to reading that. But what he teaches, or it sounds like he teaches, can apply to all areas of life, like business, health, relationships. And as far as yeah, health and wellness, I see it all the time. It's these people who are like, what? Like you hired a coach, you couldn't do that on your own, yada yada yada. And then here we go, like you said, 4 months later, and they're like, whoa, transformation. Where do I sign up?
That's
Right.
right.
So that's it, eventually maybe that push them forward, and now they're cruising. Or it could work on the opposite end. Sometimes you're so involved in your health and wellness game, and then you got food pushers when you go out in the environment trying to sabotage you. Eat
Oh,
this, drink
absolutely.
this,
Absolutely.
right?
There's so many of those.
So
It's like,
many. Because people don't like to, they know in their minds this is probably not a great habit to have. So I'll feel better about myself if I push it on you and you engage in the same behavior as me. I won't feel so bad.
that's right. That's right. And that's basically the same thing with success in business and success. So if anybody, my advice, if anybody's interested and ready to start a new business, all right, these are things you want to look at, and then find the team, find the coaches. We all have coaches, no
Hmm.
matter what level of finance you're at or what level of business or in the weight journey, we all have a coach. And so that is a really, I'm going to say, big error on a lot of people who believe that they can just do it themselves. And maybe they can. However, for the most part, most people who really do go on to success as we know it, they have or have had multiple coaches.
Oh yeah, coaches are so important, and usually a coach is just maybe 3 to 4 chapters ahead of you, and in their expertise, and they're want to kind of pave the road for you, right?
Hmm.
I will invest in a coach till I'm 90 and on my deathbed. I mean, there is something to be said in every area of my life. It only actually makes me a better human being. And if you're really trying to drive for success, here's one key that I will tell you: always get in rooms with people bigger than you,
Oh,
people more successful than you, because you will learn so much by their behaviors and their ideas and what they're doing and who they're hanging out with, right? So you want to put your room, you don't want to go in a room and you be that highest person in the room. Put yourself in bigger rooms.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, Natalie, this was so much fun
Yeah,
today.
you gotta get
And
this book, Ellie. Thanks for the recommendation.
yeah, I'll send you the link. And any, oh, one more thing, people, Natalie has created the website and it is almost ready, correct?
It's almost ready. I'm just because again, you're dealing with a type A person who does everything to like, the highest that she could do it. But I'm really just wanting to get the color set and everything right for you guys. So I promise you by Monday, you will have access to our website, and we will pour so much love into there. And then you'll be able to contact us too.
Absolutely. So beautiful. Natalie, thank you. Everybody, thank you for joining us, and keep us posted, connect with us, like the, hit the like button, share and
Yeah.
get inspired and get yourself, if you are in the crap pot, if you are one of those people right now and you find yourself in the crap pot and you want to get out, we will help pull you out. So just let us know who you are and contact us, and let's get you out of that pot if that's what you say you want.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye, Natalie.
All
Love
right,
you.
Ellie. Talk
Okay.
soon.
Bye. Bye bye.